We got down to the cabin and we had unloaded and the kids took off in the UTV. I was making lunch for them and my son walked in the door and said, "There's been a wreck." And so, like any mom, you panic a little, but then I thought, oh, it's probably they probably hit something, because we only go 15 miles an hour is the speed limit down there. So you aren't gonna get hurt if you follow the rules.
After the wreck had happened, I kind of blacked out and I woke up from it and I had a gut feeling that someone was hurt. I knew someone was hurt. And I was like, it's Kinzie, I know it's Kinzie. And I went up to Kinzie and I was like, okay, start singing your ABCs, just trying to keep her mind focused on something else and yelling for help, and there was just nobody really around and nobody could hear us. And so I was like, I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna run till I find someone. But when I started running, I was like, that's the last time I'm ever gonna see my sister alive.
So I got in the car, and when I pulled up, I saw a fire truck there. Mama's heart started pounding a little faster. I got out and I saw Jordan, but Ellie was holding her knee, so I ran to her, and she was in shock, and she just kept shaking her head at me. And then the guy behind her said, "No, it's not her, it's your baby." So then I looked up and realized Kinzie was laying with all these people around her, working on her. And when I got up there, I'd never seen anything like it. Couldn't even imagine it. It was so in awe that she was even still alive.
The accident was instantaneous and life-threatening. After the family's UTV flipped, Kinzie was pinned and dragged nearly 40 feet. Jordan's friend Ellie called 911 while Jordan began running back to her parents' cabin for help. Local responders stabilized Kinzie until paramedics arrived by helicopter.
They told us to immediately go to Lubbock, where they had a children's trauma department. So then when the doctor there came out, he told me he was going to be able to save her knee and fix it. And I was expecting him to tell me that they had taken her arm. And so I was trying to wrap my mind how I was gonna tell a 9-year-old girl she lost her arm. And he came out and said he knew a guy in Dallas at Scottish Rite, and he had already sent them the pictures, and they thought that they were gonna be able to fix it.
So her left arm and hand, when I got called about her, she had degloved, meaning she had lost the entire skin on the front side and the back side of her forearm, and up to a little bit in her wrist, as well as some tendinous injuries, meaning that some tendons were cut in the initial accident. So our goal was really to get something to cover that whole area, as well as to repair the tendons that were injured.
To have somebody and a whole team of people who worked on her know exactly what needed to be done. I wasn't scared. I felt so assured, when they came in to talk to me.
I think that's the ultimate compliment, that especially after a traumatic accident, the parent or caregiver finally feels that their child is in a safe environment, that they can go and they can take a breath and they can take time to finally have the emotional reaction that they have probably been keeping bottled up inside until the point of arriving here.
For the families and for the patients, there's no better place than here, because we have the expertise, like I said, to handle a lot of the complex injuries that they might occur, but we also have a lot of help with that, a lot of other ancillary services here, whether it's Dr. Hurge and child psychology, which all of these patients need, and we can offer occupational therapy, child life, therapeutic rec, things that very few hospitals can offer in one place, and they sort of feel like this is home for them for the time that they're here, and I think that's really special.
Before we came here, I wasn't able to do anything. When I came here, I went outside, I played on the playground, I was able to make stuff, I was able to color, I was able to paint. They had activities for us to do, they had it planned.
We are really treating the whole child. We are caring for both their physical and for their emotional health.
Look who I know. You look awesome.
The families usually wouldn't, they're not the patient, but here it's like, you're the patient too.
So the people here, they're really nice, and they'll care for you, and you'll be doing something that's fun, and you'll also be doing something that can help you with why you're here.
The patient's motivation to engage in treatment is incredibly important, and I think after Kinzie got over the initial shock associated with her trauma, she has really proven herself to be an incredible force. I would describe her as incredibly resilient, and I think that that has really helped contribute to her recovery. And a lot of what we did was help her to process and to make sense of the accident and of the injury.
It really made me physically better, but it also made me mentally better. It had counselors to check in with you every day. The PT and OT made sure that you were being able to move, and it's really just, it's helpful knowing that so many people care for you here. So that's really what patients need, and that's really what they give you.
With Kinzie, it's incredible to see how she's grown.
I think that Kinzie is really the definition of post-traumatic growth, where she's been through something traumatic, and in the process of coping with it, she has blossomed in this really incredible way. And hopefully that would provide hope to other parents, and hopefully they have a similar outcome to Kinzie.
When you're riding a UTV, I would say wearing a helmet, wearing a seatbelt, and following the speed limit. Just being vigilant of your surroundings, where you are, what you're doing.